So I just watched the first two episodes of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Now, this is a show that has been talked about a lot on the internet. There's a chunk of people that are definitely looking forward to this show. They love the movies. They are definitely looking forward to the show and seeing what Amazon is going to do with Lord of the Rings. But there's also a chunk of people that aren't as excited for the show. There's a chunk of people that are worried that this show is going to not follow what Tolkien has made. These are people that know a lot about Tolkien's world that he made with Lord of the Rings. And, those people think that this show is not going to be faithful to what Tolkien created. Me personally, I'm not among those people. I don't know a whole lot about the world of Lord of the Rings outside of the movies. Okay, I've seen the movies a few times. I haven't read the books. I haven't read into the lore that is Lord of the Rings. I just haven't done that. So I've been looking forward to the show. I didn't like the last trailer mostly because of the music that they use. I felt like that just kind of threw the trailer off for me personally, but I definitely liked a lot of what I saw. But again, I'm not somebody who knows a lot about this world. I just know some of it because I've seen the movies a few times. So I've been looking forward to it. I was always curious to see what Amazon was going to do with this show. So what did I think about this show? I will say that I feel like, similar to a lot of people, but I feel like the first episode is honestly quite boring. Um, if I'm going to be completely honest. Now, I know the first episode is doing a lot of world building. I totally understand that. But there's plenty of shows out there where their first episode is doing a lot of world building, but the show is still entertaining and not boring. I go to shows like The Boys. The first episode of The Boys is not boring. It definitely gets you hooked onto the show, and it's doing world building. Game of Thrones is another show that has a lot of world building in its series premiere, but the episode is not boring. Breaking Bad is another show where the first episode is doing world building, but it's a fantastic episode that keeps you engaged. This episode, I don't think is all that bad. I just wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't that much of a fan of the first episode. I thought there were good things in there, and I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in a minute when I get to the second episode. But I just really felt like this episode was boring. You know, so as far as the second episode, though, I will say it's definitely a step up. I enjoyed the episode more. I wasn't bored watching episode two. Was it fantastic? No, I don't think the second episode was fantastic, but I definitely thought it was better than the first episode. And I do want to apologize if, I'm kind of slurring a few of my words. I am pretty tired. I worked third shift, so I literally am about to fall asleep. But, anyway, to get back to the thing, I definitely enjoyed the second episode more than I did the first episode. I didn't think it was boring. Now, as far as things I liked, visually speaking, for a TV show, I mean, it's masterful. You can tell that the money definitely went to good use. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. I mean, visually, it looks like a movie. And honestly, it looks better than some movies, visually speaking. So I was really impressed with the visuals, and I think we were all expecting, visually speaking, this show was going to look fantastic. I think everybody, even the people that weren't a fan of what they were seeing, and the people that think this show is going to tarnish the lore that Tolkien made, I think everybody can agree, visually speaking, it's really, really good. And yeah, it's masterful, I would even say. The score, I really enjoyed. I thought the score was really good. Really enjoyed that. I thought the acting all around was good. I thought the actress, and I can't pronounce her first name, but she plays Galadriel, the main character of the show. I think she does a really good job. I think she gives a really good performance in this show. I think the writing in the second episode is pretty good. I don't think it's fantastic, but I do think it's pretty good, if I had to say so myself. Um, like I said, visually, it's great. And I think it does a good job getting you excited for what's to come. It really does, as far as the second episode, it really does a good job setting up what's to come in the rest of the series. But yeah, I like the characters. I like the acting. I thought visually it was fantastic. The score is really good. I will say though, there are parts in both episodes where I didn't think was shot the best. Like with the camera, I don't like when the camera's up in the character's face and like the whole frame is pretty much their face. I don't like shots like that. And the first episode did have a scene where there were shots like that. Thankfully, it lasts for like 20 seconds. So it's more of a nitpick for me. But again, I did enjoy the second episode quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. First episode, I wasn't a big fan of. I just thought it was boring, personally. A lot of good in the first episode and in the second episode. But again, first episode was pretty boring, if I would say so myself. But I am looking forward to seeing what else they do. Overall, I give the show a thumbs up. I think it's going in the right direction. Again, I'm not like someone who's big on the lore of Game of, or I'm gonna say Game of Thrones, of Lord of the Rings. So correct me if I'm wrong, but. And for those who aren't watching the news, thank you so much for tuning into this review. If you're new or if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Leave your thoughts on the show down below in the comments. If you weren't looking forward to the show because you thought they were going to tarnish the lore of Tolkien when it came to Lord of the Rings, let me know your thoughts. Is your mind changed? Do you think they're respecting what Tolkien has made? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video. That's going to do it. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.